stereo. Tonight it's been more than 10 days. I was hoping that you showed me some real love. If you saw me, would you remember my face? I guess for you, I was never enough. I don't know why I always do that. Get no reply, I keep on losing. I try to call, but it's just useless. Get it done, my heart keeps pulsing. Baby, I know you have to go. Could you text me when you get home?
So with that set of barbell rows, that was 10 kg lighter than the last rowing session that I did. So that was 60. And I don't know if, well, I just watched it back. I feel like you can definitely see I'm trying to keep my hip hinge relatively stable, but extend my, like, the thoracic, I think it's called, like part of my spine, like arch down and reach down and really stretch out all my lats and rhomboids and shit. And get like as much range of motion all the way down as I can, but without like hip hinging to do it. So it's not like a mini deadlift. And then come all the way up and like then, whilst I'm retracted like that, retract my scapula and like reverse arch my back and like, so kind of like an ab crunch, but for my back, like the opposite of an ab crunch. Like I'm trying to like curl with my back as well as row to get like maximum range of motion and stretch on the way down, and then really contract and flex all those muscles instead of like just trying to keep completely rigid and then rowing up and down like that. Like have it use my whole back, and try and think about it in more of like, because if you want to, I know statics and static holds and stuff can build muscle just as much as anything else, but if people want to thicken up their abs, bigger biceps, you don't do static holds. You don't just like freeze in the position typically. And I feel like that's what I'm doing a lot with like things like deadlifts and bent over rows. You're static holding and just tensing all those muscles in the back. And yes, you're gonna get hella strong doing that, but you're not getting that range of motion to like drive the hypertrophy and work the muscle in that way. I know this is like bro science and I'm experimenting at the minute, but I also recently, so that's what I'm doing with these rows, and that's why they look the way that they do, and I'm gonna run with that and see how it goes. I've had to drop the weight a bit. I'm gonna have to do the rest of this session with the 60. I might see if I can pump out more than, I think I got 8 reps with that. I might try and do a little bit extra, but that felt really good. And I stood up and I could feel it all in my upper back, which is nice. And then another thing, so I haven't really deadlifted. I think I've deadlifted twice so far, and they've all been deficits, and I've not recorded any of it. But something like bugs me so much with deadlifts, and it's how people just can seem so strong and like be working up to their max, and then just completely randomly people just pop shit in their back and they pull something, and it's just like boom, like one bad session and you're out. And I see like loads of clips on Instagram and stuff, and I've had it happen to people, friends. I'm really grateful, touch wood, the wall, that hasn't happened to me so far, but it doesn't make sense to me how it happens. Because it's like, well, you're training this movement, you're getting strong as fuck. How come on like a warm-up set, or it doesn't even happen often on people's top set. It's like, why is my back just fucking dying randomly? It doesn't happen with any other exercise. People don't just randomly do a curl and then their elbow pops and explodes and then they're out and you have to rehab it. It's always deadlifts. And I was like, it just doesn't, I can't go into deadlifting having that, it just bugs me too much. So then I was I came across, I was watching a bunch of like silver era bodybuilding stuff and old school shit, and found out about, found out about the Jefferson curl, which I'm now learning is probably not the right name for it. And it's kind of like, it looks like a stiff-legged deadlift, and the curling happens with your spine. So your legs are straight the whole time and your back is like bent all the way down, and you pick up, it's like if you told someone to do the worst possible form deadlift ever, and they would just like all back, just round it up from the floor. And it's that, but purposefully. But you do it with very light weight, and it's used to strengthen all those back muscles with, like I said, with the same principle that I'm using for these rows. Like, you stretch the muscle out and then you contract it, and you start with very light weights. And that's when I kind of had thought, like, shit, maybe that's why it always happens on deadlift, because deadlift it's an anomaly, because this freak accident, like people's backs just going, right, that happens all the time, and that makes deadlift an anomaly. But what else makes it an anomaly? It's like you're completely static. You're supposed to be completely static with your back and just be a machine and hinge at the hip and have this like perfect form. So then I think the incident of like the cracking and what do you call it? It's not even cracking, like snap, snap city, when you snap your shit up on a deadlift. That happens, I think, when you break ever so slightly and deviate from that perfect strict form. Your body's fine whilst you've got this perfect back and you're lifting up, but then as soon as that goes just a little bit and you get that bend and you're a bit weak, and then that's when it happens, because you only train it in that fucking fixed position, right? So maybe that is why it happens, because you're not training any other range of motion of the back. So as soon as you're thrown out of the form, the perfect form and position that you're supposed to be in, your body's like, oh shit, we haven't been here before, and then it just gives out because you haven't strengthened that area, that range of motion of your back. So the Jefferson curl strengthens the whole friggin' thing. You do the whole deadlift with your back. And in my head, that just makes so much sense for how to like bulletproof yourself against Snap City. Obviously being very careful and working up from a low weight first. And I'm going to start incorporating that. I did it for warm-ups just with the bar, the weight of the bar, just 20 kg, and did a few warm-up reps very slowly, and I did like 2 sets of that. And I think I'm going to start incorporating that, and then when I get a little bit more comfortable with that, I'll start putting deadlifts in. But that's my thoughts on that, and I'm going to experiment with it. And I thought maybe it's incredibly boring, but someone might find it interesting, so I'll ramble about that.
You've been hiding from me, but I want all the shades of you. Nobody else gets to see. Show me what you got on the inside. Right now, you gotta let your guard down. Right now, you gotta give a little bit away. Right now, you gotta let your guard down. Show me what you got on the inside. That's
time I do pull-ups, it's neutral grip, and I was using these inside ones. But when I get sweaty hands and trying to grip this and stay on it for the whole set, that it's so thick, and I just end up slipping off. And I have these gymnastics rings, but obviously I don't have anything high enough in here to hang them from, so I just thought I'll loop them over, and then they're in neutral position anyway, which is just perfect. So this is awesome.
Opportunities, they make it look so easy, but inside we're all the same. No one's special, but we're all amazing. Feel a little soul of compensation.